So one of the things in the book of Revelation, it talks about the throne, right? So you have the throne, God's throne. You have 24 elders with crowns surrounding the throne with God. And then you have the four creatures. And then you also had the Lamb, who is Christ as well. And just picturing that, right? And you had angels, you had the people in heaven that John saw. They were worshiping God, right? Saying, holy, holy, right? And they're worshiping God, right? I can't remember exactly what they said, but I can actually read it for you here. But this is something that I just found to be very, very interesting with just like how I started picturing prayer. So this was the throne in heaven. Yeah, so this is Revelation 4. I'll read Revelation 4. This is a bit, we'll get back into a community post, but I just found this interesting as well. And something that can help us in understanding who God is and how we can honor him and approach the throne. After this, I looked, and there before me was a door standing open in heaven. And the voice I had first heard speaking to me like a trumpet said, "Come up here, and I will show you what must take place after this." At once I was in the Spirit, and there before me was a throne in heaven with someone sitting on it. And the one who sat there had an appearance of jasper and ruby. A rainbow that shone like an emerald encircled the throne. Surrounding the throne were 24 other thrones, and seated on them were 24 elders. They were dressed in white and had crowns of gold on their heads. From the throne came flashes of lightning, rumblings, and pearls of thunder. In front of the throne, 7 lamps were blazing. These are the 7 spirits of God. Also, in front of the throne, there was what looked like a sea of glass, clear as crystal. In the center, around the throne, were 4 living creatures, and they were covered with eyes in front and in back. The first living creature was like a lion. The second was like an ox. The third had a face. The fourth was like a flying eagle. Each of the 4 living creatures had 6 wings and was covered with eyes all around. Even under its wings, day and night, they never stopped saying. Day and night, they never stopped saying, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty, who was and is to come." Whenever the living creatures give glory, honor, and thanks to him who sits on the throne and who lives forever and ever, the 24 elders fall down before him who sits on the throne and worship him who lives forever and ever. They lay their crowns before the throne and say, "You are worthy, our Lord, our Lord and God, to receive glory and honor and power, for you created all things, and by your will they were created, and have their being. And by your will they were created and have their being." So just reading that chapter in Revelation 4 gives us a very very vivid visual image of what the throne looks like. And just thinking about that, it's like when we are also kneeling down to pray, and that is part of why I also believe in praying while we're kneeling, because being in God's presence, we say that, okay, we're going to pray. It's just having that image to say, okay, we're going to pray to God, and having that image to say, okay, how do I approach the throne? The throne of God. It is sacred. It is holy. To the times that we're kneeling down, even though it's like we're physically here on earth, our spirits also are praying. And if we can just, think and picture and realize that when we kneel, we're sending our prayers to God. And if we approach the throne with that much reverence and with conversation, even with that image, the Father loves us, and we can still have a conversation just to imagine that, Christ came to redeem us so that we can also pray to God and go directly to Him and pray and kneel down and pray and send our prayers to heaven. And we are also approaching that throne when we are praying and coming to God in spirit, right? So that is for us to also realize how important prayer is and what we're doing, to realize that God is actually listening. And there's more that talks about, when you read Revelation, it talks about how there is the incense like around the throne where the prayers go. I'm forgetting what they call it, where the prayers go, and then the angels, they see the incense. The prayers are in this, like I guess it's like a bowl, I think, but there's incense as well with the prayers that go up to heaven. And so how we submit our prayers and petition and send them to God, it's our approach, our way of approaching the throne is also important when we think about it. And it just gives us that admiration and reverence for God, just to think how powerful God is. So anyway, that's me just, sharing that. I just found that very, very powerful and interesting as well at the same time.